online with
yeah.
Answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Rates may vary. Build monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country. When you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
Connect with a local divorce attorney today. Text Joe22 to 3232.
Oh boy. Live. You see the live? Live on YouTube, live on Twitter, live on the Fan, on the Odyssey app. Tap in with me. I'm not even mad. I'm just going to be real.
Giants fans debate Jets fans. Live, loud, and daily. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps. It's KM to AM.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it, New York. This absolutely sucks, but it is what it is. 888-808-1019. You know, you got to just understand that both the Mets and the Yankees are in bad ones right now. You hope it's not for much longer, as both teams lose back-to-back games to drop the series. Just pitiful offensive outputs or lack thereof. It's got you scratching your head a little bit about where we're headed here after celebrating a trade deadline and thinking that both these teams were kind of shored up for the rest of the season heading to October. We're not even looking at that right now. I mean, obviously the Mets are in a little better shape than the Yankees, but I'm not going to hold you. It's just as bad. You know, and I understand people don't get it, but I feel like the slander should be just as loud on both sides. You know, for the Mets, you had a 7-game win streak. You were also in first place. What's going on? For the Mets, you have a $330 million payroll. What's happening? For the Mets, you had the best home field advantage in baseball. What is going on? Your fans are still showing up there, as 39, almost 40,000 showed up on a Tuesday to see the Mets bounce back. And I thought that they would tonight because they scored first in the first inning, a little Pete Alonso sac fly. And then Tyrone Taylor is in there, and he drives in a run, and let's go back to the lineup, right? You're trying to shake something up because, again, the offense hasn't been good enough. Nimmo struggled last night, and they've had some struggles in that leadoff spot now for months. So Marte gets the opportunity to lead off. He goes 0 for 4 tonight as a DH. Lindor, not much going either. Juan Soto, he can work a walk, but a walk is not as good as a hit. It's not clutch. It's not cashing in. It's not doing it. Juan Soto makes $90,000 in at bat. He's starting to hear boos from the Citi Field faithful. It's not early anymore. It's not June anymore. It's August, man. It's the dog days now where you need a Juan Soto solo shot. A Juan Soto solo shot could have tied the game. You can't even get that. 2 strikeouts. Pete Alonso's closer to the record. Pete Alonso with a hit and, skip one through the infield, and he had the sac fly, like I said. But ultimately, when you look at those 4, the Fab 4, Steve Cohen ought to delete his Twitter because since he put out that Fab 4 tweet, what have they done but struggled? It's not good enough. And I start with the offense first, of course. 2 runs is not going to cut it. In your building, 2 runs is not going to get it done. Coming off of last night where you did rally back from being down 5-0, you did have some heart and some fight, but then you lose in extra innings. This is the Cleveland Guardians. This is the Cleveland Guardians that everybody thought was going to sell off Steven Kwan. I don't know how many calls I took on the fan about Jose Ramirez being traded. He was never getting traded. But they lost Emmanuel Clase. They lost Luis Ortiz with the gambling stuff. But they're able to come into New York and they're able to beat the Mets in Citi Field. And when you look at the standings and when you look at the division, when I say you had a lead, like Philly is easily smacking the Baltimore Orioles. They made quick work of them tonight. 5-0 shutout, 2 hours, 20 minutes after blowing them out the night before. So you can expect a sweep there. Philly is 2.5 games up now after the deadline, where they added Johan Duran, where they added Harrison Bader. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to me. I was on Thursday, trade deadline night, and I think everybody felt good about Tyler Rogers, Hells Bells, Ryan Helsley, Gregory Soto, and even Cedric Mullins. But I mean, Cedric Mullins, I guess, is going to platoon with Tyrone Taylor, and you're going to use these guys that you just got. And now we'll get to the starting pitching. You know, all that was talked about tonight, listening to the broadcast and watching the broadcast. It was, right away on MLB. When you look at the wrap on MLB.com, it was 48 straight games without 2 different starting pitchers recording at least one start of 6+ innings. Now, you can say that's a sign of the times. You can say that's modern day baseball. But this is the Mets. This is what the Mets chose to do. They didn't go out and sign a Max Fried or a Corbin Burns. Pat Corbin's in my mind. We'll get to the Yankees Rangers in a minute. 888-808-1019. The Mets this year don't have starting pitchers that can go deep into games. And Clay Holmes was out of there in 5 innings. Clay Holmes goes 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. He's got a 3.46 ERA in his first season as a starter, but he throws 75 pitches and that's done. It's it. That's the plan. And you stick to the script, you stick to the plan because you expect your offense to be able to score more than 2 runs. And then what happens in that game, obviously the Cleveland Guardians come back to tie it with a little small ball, a couple singles. But what happens in that game, when you get later into that game, they were calling it death by 1,000 cuts. They were calling it death by 1,000 cuts. I mean, the Mets got to be stronger than this. They got to be better than this. They have superstar players. They have high-paid bats. They are better than this. I guess you can chalk it up to that's baseball. I know there are some Met fans that are going to say, hey, look where we are in the standings. We're all right. And, no, you're not all right. You had a 7-game win streak, and that's a race now. And when you look at the Phillies and you look at their upcoming schedule and their team and how they play and how hot some of their players have been, they don't look like they're slowing down. They look like they're tuning up. And the Mets go into this game tonight against the Guardians needing to bounce back after not sending Tyrone Taylor, after Brett Beatty throws the ball past Lindor. And they just have multiple guys go up there and do nada. Strike out. 9 strikeouts on the night. 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Didn't have that many opportunities. 6 left on base. And again, like I said, that death by 1,000 cuts, that 7th inning, where your new acquisition, right, a guy that you got, as I was talking about it last night, and you can shoot the messenger. I know some Met fans don't want to hear it from me, but I'm going to keep it G real. You have these guys as rentals. You gave up what you gave up for Tyler Rogers and Ryan Helsley because this team is expected to go win a championship this year, right? As we always compare both sides, and people want to talk about the Yankees and, how it's, it's not that impressive that Brian Cashman got these guys with control. Yes, it is, especially if the Yankees crap out. Then we're on the next year, and these guys will be here running back. And then even the talk today about Jake Bird being sent down, so what? You trade for a guy with options, so you have the option to send him down. J.P. Sears got traded to the Padres. They just optioned him. Does that mean it's a terrible trade? No, he came over in the Mason Miller trade. They're making room. Michael King is on the way back. It's transactional. It's clerical. It's business, you know. But yeah, back to the death by 1,000 cuts. In that 7th inning, you get the first out, ground out. You get the second out, line out, and then a single, a hit by pitch, and that's all you need. The guards, the Cleveland Wahoos, formerly known as the Indians, come into Queens, and they take the first 2 from the Mets. They score 1 run there in the 7th, and they're able to lock your offense down the rest of the way. They're able to stop your big, high-paid bats the rest of the way with a bunch of randoms. Maybe not Cade Smith's rendition of God Bless America. Cade Smith is probably the best that they've got going with no Class A. But the Mets have to be better than this, and the fans deserve better than this. And I understand why some of y'all are booing in there. I understand why fans are frustrated in there, because you put 40,000 in there on a Tuesday thinking we're playing the Guardians. We should be able to score more than 2 runs with Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto, the highest paid player in the league. What's up with Juan Soto? Oh, you're obsessed with Juan Soto. No, I'm not obsessed with Juan Soto at all. But I know when I watch Juan Soto, he doesn't look like he's looked in 2024, 2023, 20. Where is the Soto shuffle? Where is the bravado, the swag? Where's the clutch gene to just look at a pitcher, line him up, and hit one out, Juan? It's not there. In his last 15 games, he's got a 167 average. 1 homer. Where's the power? Where's the clutch? Where's the ability to drive in runs? 6 RBI in 15 games. He'll work a walk, though. He's a walk merchant. He's on his way to 90 walks. Good for Juan Soto getting his walks. That's not the return on investment you're looking for when you go out and get that guy. But whatever. The Mets lose. And like I said, if you follow me online, the Mets slander should be as loud as the Yankees. This is a $333 million payroll, whatever it is. Like, they're a high-paid team. They have high expectations. It should be World Series or bust. But there's a lot of people that'll just be like, whatever. They just got to make it now. No, they should win the division with this team. No, they don't have enough pitching, this team. Call a spade a spade. You don't have enough starting pitching to go where you want to go. And if you learned from last year, you would have went out and prioritized that. Call one of the young guys up. They won't. Call one of the young guys up. You're not going to pitch those guys in the postseason. So that's another tough loss. And yeah, I saw, McLean had 5 2/3 innings pitched for AAA Syracuse. Let them keep marinating. And eventually they'll come through, right? Eventually the lineup will come through, or maybe they won't. Who knows? 888-808-1019. Now to the moment you've all been waiting for. I had to let it breathe coming off of the post game and, coming off of play stupid games, win stupid prizes. First, I'd like to shout out young Will Warren. TWTW, the will to warrant, the will to win. That young man showed up knowing he's facing the arguably one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher right now in the American League, Nasty Nate Eovaldi. Young Will Warren showed up today, was Houdini today, got out of trouble today, kept the Yankees in it today. And today is the day that all rise, the captain Aaron Judge is back. And I might have told you last night I'm not getting off the roller coaster until Judge is back. And I'm still on that. But again, I'm not stopping you from saying, Keith, I'm done with this team. I'm done with this season. I quit. I'm off the ride. I don't want to ride this Yankees roller coaster because it sucks. It sucks. It ruins my night. It ruins my vibe, my energy. And I try to come here and, laugh and be loose, whatever. But, man, when you watch a game like that, a 0-0 game where there are good things from that game, like as I compliment Will Warren, Ben Rice is my starting catcher. Ben Rice behind the dish. Ben Rice got robbed of a hit. Corey Seager was on. And the Rangers are on, right? They have a good manager. Bruce Bochy going to outmanage Aaron Boone every time. And, yeah, we're getting there. We'll get to it. When you look at the Yankees lineup, they're not doing anything with Eovaldi. It's crazy to see the version of him that he is at this age. When he was on the Yankees in 2015 or so, he was not this. He was not this. And then even, Josh Smith, former Yankee, I'm like, another guy looking for revenge. This guy, sliding, making plays early, sliding into the Yankees dugout, making them play in foul territory. He had a hit later in the game. And, oh, young Jock is going down. Jock Peterson, we woke him up, right? We woke him up. Now Jock Peterson is back to it. Come on. I just don't know, man, watching the game. And for a while, they were one hit. Volpe was the only one with a hit. He smelled a hustle double. And you know what? I think Volpe going bad, dark Volpe that came out in Miami, I think that was good. Volpe made some good plays, some good throws. At least we're not whipping the whipping boy Volpe anymore. Aaron Boone has become the whipping boy. Aaron Boone goes on Talking Yanks today, and he's vulnerable. And everybody's talking about, like, come on, bro, give me a break with that. This is where we're at in 2025. The Yankee manager is on a podcast, letting his guard down and talking about the team. And honestly, I'm like, the question they need to ask Aaron Boone is, grade yourself right now. Aaron Boone, tell us the job that you have done as a manager when you're telling us that the team came out flat Saturday. Yeah, I told y'all they had a hangover from Friday night. They couldn't get over it. And they ended up getting swept. And it's carried itself into this series. Now that's another 5-game losing streak. They're on sweep watch again with Carlos Rodon on the mound. Oh, here we go. Throw Carlos Rodon into another tough spot. Save the day. Be the stopper. I don't know. Keep the ball in the ballpark. I don't know. So that is potentially another 6-game losing streak. You've already had 2 of those since June. And the manager is supposed to stop the bleeding. The manager is supposed to manage the club. The manager is supposed to rally the troops, talk to these guys, put these guys in a position to win. And when I looked at the podcast today, Talking Yanks with Aaron Boone, it's just talk, man. I don't care about on paper, and this seems to be one of the best teams we've ever had. No, it's not. It's one of the worst teams you've had in recent time. They are the White Sox right now. Since June, they've won the same amount of games as the Chicago White Sox since June 1st. Enough. And since 2005, they won the same amount of World Series as the White Sox. If we're being real, we're keeping it a bean. But you just knew. I tweeted out which reliever is going to ruin this one. Which reliever are they going to let blow this game? And I should have known. Because I told y'all last night, as many of y'all thought, listening to the post game, oh, Devin Williams is done. Oh, no, he's not the closer anymore. He does not have to be the closer to blow the game. They still think he's elite. They still think he's high leverage. They still look for opportunities to build confidence and pick their guys up, and they don't care. They do not care. And so that game comes down to, plays were made. Defensive plays were made. Volpe with the unassisted double play. Trent Grisham in the outfield going to his right. Dominguez under him. He just makes a great catch. But yeah, Jason Dominguez, I was happy Jason Dominguez had a play where he caught the ball. He knew where to throw it to hold the runners. But Jason Dominguez, ball will find you. New York Yankees, the ball will continue to find him. He's not a left fielder. He is learning on the job. And even though we see some good, ball will find you. The ball don't lie. And so it comes down to Devin Williams in the 8th. Yeah, you can skip through everybody else that pitched. Luke Weaver, Weavy Wonder, good job. Camilo Duvall, good job. Gave up a couple hits, but locked down. Good job. Those are professional guys. And it's funny, right? Those guys are closers. Those guys have saves under their belt. This year. Those guys have the stomach for it. Those guys have the head for it. And you have to. You just can't stop yourself from going to the one guy who doesn't have the body language, who doesn't have the stomach for it, the head for it, who is having the worst season of his career. You just have to put him out there with the game on the line in a scoreless game. Now follow me. When I said Dominguez, the ball will find you, ball always finds you, ball don't lie. You guys know what happened. It just happened. It wasn't that long ago. I'm putting some of this on Dominguez too, but I put it on the Yankees for putting Dominguez out there in left field over and over again. Yeah, this is fine. This will work. This is fine. Devin Williams gets that first out. And then when Adolis Garcia smokes that one over Dominguez's head, he takes a bad route. He's rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. He went the wrong way. That ball goes off his glove. You got to have it. And knowing that Devin Williams is soft as baby, he's feeble, man. He doesn't have confidence right now. Coming off of last night, coming off of 6 blown saves or 3 blown saves, but 6 blown leads. I got them all written down. We'll go through them tonight. Stupid is as stupid does. Can't fix stupid. Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes. Now, he's only got to face 3 guys. Jock Peterson homered off him last night. So you know he shook of Jock Peterson hitting a homer off him again. He throws 2 pitches, folks. So when he walks Jock Peterson, Aaron Boone, you don't have to stick to the script. You can affect the game. You're the manager. You are letting him bleed out. You are letting the team and the fan base bleed out. Go and affect the game. Bednar is up. Mark Leiter Jr. is up. Stop the bleeding and say enough is enough. We tried it. It's Clay Holmes deja vu. It's Andrew Heaney deja vu. It's Zach Britton deja vu. I swear they do this in this Boone era. They just keep forcing these guys on us. Time after time after time after time. When we're sitting there knowing it's not going to work. You're willing to lose a game, lose a series to a team that's on your heels right now. We'll get to the standings. I think it's insanity. It is literally doing the same things and expecting different results. You just did it last night. You have other options. Oh, we got to piece it together. Oh, we were looking for David Bednar to have a 4-out. Come on, man. It's just dumb. It doesn't make any sense. You did not have to let that happen. He walks another guy. And then what do you expect? Rowdy Tellez had a hand-wrist injury in the at-bat. And a 10-pitch at-bat, Rowdy Tellez is going to win that one. And at that moment, I'm like, I didn't even care. I was so unfazed. I just expected it. I expected it. My line of tweets from like 10:19 to 10:20. Play stupid games. You're going to win some stupid-ass prizes. You knew it was coming. Dominguez got to make that play. Take a better route. It's off your glove. Devin Williams is feeble. Got to get that out for him. His confidence is gone. He walks the next 2 batters. He'd rather be anywhere than on the mound for the New York Yankees. Rowdy Tellez with a hurt hand wrist wins that battle. He doesn't have to be the closer to lose you a game. I'm not putting him in a high leverage situation in a tight game like that. After Will Warren battled, after what Luke Weaver did, after what Camilo Doval did, after Judge coming back and these guys needing a win to get right. You know, guys struggling like Jazz Chisholm. Trash right now. Guys struggling in the lineup. They couldn't touch Nate Eovaldi. Like I said, they were 1 hit for a while. I can't lose that game on the back of Devin Williams. And that's how I know Boone is safe. He's got some gall. He's got some guts. He's got some balls. Or maybe he's just doing what they told him to do. Maybe that was the script before the game. Because that's how I know you're safe, bro. You're willing to die on Devin Williams. Devin Williams, we don't owe him anything. He's not going to be here next year. He don't want to be here right now. You might as well cut him, DFA him. You're willing to let this fan base lose another game, waste another night with Devin Williams on the mound. And I think that's insane. 888-808-1019. I think that's absolute insanity to go out like that. You know better. But if you knew better, you do better. But no biggie. Aaron Boone's job is safe. He ain't getting fired. You went out at the deadline and added. You went out and got Doval and Bednar. Both of them have a bunch of saves. You don't have to do this, but I knew it last night. I told y'all last night. I said they're going to give him another opportunity this month. I didn't know it would be the next night. I thought they probably won't pitch him in the Bronx. They better not now. I'll be there. In the standings, and they come back to the Bronx Friday against the Astros. You know what type of time the fans are on when the Astros come to town. It brings out some of the toxic fans. It brings out some of the drunks, some of the people that are in there. You know, like you saw those videos years ago, people throwing beer cans at people, people fighting. Like, there's going to be this nervous energy in there. Nobody's safe, man. It's going to get ugly real fast. They got to win this game with Rodon on the mound tomorrow, and they got to get it together. Enough talk about what the team is. We're going to talk about it tonight. 888-808-1019. This is Keith McPherson on The Fan, another KM to AM. I've got 2 hours. Let's break it down. I'll do a big shot when we come back. Actually, nobody's a big shot. There are no big shots. They're all losers. I'll say good morning on the other side. How about that? Let's take a break. Marco will hit you with the update. We will be right back.
Hey, if you have ugly...
What's up, Marco?
You.
I was just in there with him. That's crazy. I just was in there. At Somerset. He literally gave me a hat. Like, what hat you? He goes, what hat do you not have? I'm like, I have all of them. He's like, what about this one? I'm like, I don't have that one. And then they made me another jersey. Chat, what up? Let's get it, man. I don't care at this point. I'm looking at fantasy football mock drafts. I'm just like, I could turn on the passion for the open and to get us off and running with the show. But like, you knew they were gonna lose that game. You knew Nate Evaldi wasn't gonna give them anything. So it is what it is. All right, let's take these calls. Let's rock. Let's do the thing. Where's my charger?
Sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Nathan Eovaldi dominated through 8 innings, a one-hit ball and 6 Ks, while Devin Williams continues to struggle. 2-run single to Rowdy Tellez for the only runs of the game as the Rangers blank the Yankees 2-0. So the obvious question, why'd you go to Williams in a scoreless game in the 8th? Williams now has allowed 26 runs this season and matches the previous 3 years combined. Will Warren fired 5 scoreless, but that is now 5 straight losses and a half-game lead on Texas for the final wild card. Stephen Kwan, the go-ahead RBI single to 7. Guardians up at the Mets 3-2. Offense again silent. 4 hits in all. 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position, leaving 6 men on. Clay Holmes giving up 2 runs over 5, 6 Ks. Mets have lost 7 of 8. 74 degrees, cloudy sky at Central Park. That's happening. I'm Marco Belletti.
The big shot of the night is, man, we're not doing a big shot. No big shots around here. Bunch of losers around here. Nobody played well enough. Nobody deserves it. And I'm not going to Philly to give Kyle Schwarber a big shot or going anywhere else in baseball. I'm not going to the Dodgers. I'm not. This is a New York sports radio station. Mets fans are about to call. Yankee fans are about to call. Probably like 20% Met fans, 80% Yankee fans. And I'm going to talk until 2 a.m. So that's what it is, man. This is how we kind of cope and get through this. It's therapy. If you can't sleep because you're just like, what the hell goes on? If you love baseball and this is taking your love out of baseball, you can kind of laugh as fans are going to call up and talk about different things from the game and the series and the week and the trade deadline and talk about the future. And don't call me talking about a Subway Series Fall Classic. Don't talk about the Mets and the Yankees meeting each other in the World Series. That's extremely far-fetched right now. But 888-808-1019, let's get to the calls. That's the best part of all this, hearing from you guys and, sharing this platform and kind of getting through it together. Let's start with the Mets. Mark is in Ronkonkoma on the Fan first. What's up, Mark?
Keith, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir. You got it.
We lost 7 out of 8 games. Nobody hit tonight. It's just awful. I'd rather throw Mr. Met out right now in the lineup. This team is awful.
I don't understand it because they have hitters that are some of the coldest hitters. Like, we've seen them do ridiculous things. I'll leave Pete Alonso out of it, but I don't know.
I agree with everything you said tonight. Absolutely agree with everything you said.
I'm searching for, are they hurt? Right? Because like Juan Soto had the foot, Pete Alonso got hit by a pitch, Lindor had the pinky toe. I always feel like I always go back to like, are they not healthy when they're struggling this much? Because I've seen them all be so dominant. What could it be besides like something is ailing them?
I think the old timers team is playing better right now. If we brought them back right now. This is just awful.
Thanks for the call, Mark. 888-808-1019. What's the Mets Old Timers Day called? It's called the Alumni Classic. Look forward to that September 13th. The Yankees aren't going to be looking forward to the Old Timers Day on Saturday. They better figure it out. But no, like the Mets, what I am saying about the Mets is when you have this high of a payroll, when you have this kind of owner that talks World Series, when you have this president of baseball operations who was on MLB Network today, I watched the interview. He didn't really give them anything. When you have Juan Soto, the highest paid player in the game, and all that crying about Juan Soto not being an all-star, he doesn't look like an all-star now. He turned it on and made a little bit of a push in June, but where's it at? Pete Alonso has come back to life in these last few games as he's approaching history and breaking Darryl Strawberry's record. But it's not good enough. And when you put the team together by design, you're expecting them to hit. Brandon Nimmo is in a bad one too. And these young guys aren't doing well enough. And you go trade for Cedric Mullins, play Cedric Mullins. No? Can't be mad at Tyrone Taylor, I guess, because he drove in a run. But 4 hits, 2 runs in your building, that's not going to do it. And that's why I say the Met fan deserves better. Steve Cohen came out and challenged you, and you answered the call. Steve Cohen basically said, hey, I spent money on this team. Yeah, but money can't buy you wins, can't buy you production, can't buy you clutch hits, hitting with runners in scoring position. The Mets are one of the worst teams in baseball hitting with runners in scoring position. It doesn't make any sense, especially when you think back to last year. And I don't know I guess there really was some type of magic with Grimace and OMG and all these other things that went on. There's no magic here. What is the? I thought they had the magic chancla, the chancleta, the home run sandal. I thought there was something on that little 7-game win streak. You erased it, losing 7 out of your last 8, losing this series. They got to figure it out. Like this month of August, there's 19 games in Citi Field, and you want fans to keep coming, right? You want the fans to keep showing up. Well, if you don't beat the Guardians tomorrow, you got to dance with the Brew Crew. The man from Milwaukee, you got to go back to Milwaukee and face Pat Murphy and those guys. And they play tough. Ross is in Bergen County on the Fan next. What's up, Ross?
You know, Keith, you better get Dude Wipes to sponsor the top of the 12 o'clock hour, and then we could change that O to an I, because that's what we're going to start awarding these next couple weeks until this team gets their heads out of their ass. Both of them. Every single guy on every team. You know, don't exclude Pete, bro. Don't. I'm serious. What did he just come off of? Like a 3 for 50 stretch? And that was probably, the third worst on the team? I know he's hitting as of late. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a nickname, too, because he's had, 5 hits in the last. He's got call him Peter Rabbit Fixer for kids. Because everything gets a nickname. Everything gets the hoopla. You just brought up Cohen. How many times have I talked about him tweeting? And you remember I called you that Royals game? I said I'd rather, I'd rather have a bad win than a good loss, but that was the definition of a bad win. Because a month later it's paying dividends. Because that had that lineup thinking there's something they're not. And when I'm on a Mets Spaces after the game and we're losing sleep, if only we brought in Laureano over Mullins, so and so over. I don't give a damn. We could have dug up Babe Ruth to put him in this lineup, and he'd go 0 for 40 with guys on base. It don't matter what name you put on the back of that orange or blue jersey. The name on the front is going to morph everybody into a bottom 3 hitter in the league. It don't matter who. It don't matter who, because I got to see tweets. So-and-so would look so good in a Met jersey. Vladdy would look so good in a Met jersey. Yeah, you know who I talked about last year who looked so good in a Met jersey is Juan Soto. Look at his numbers in the last month. Francisco Lindor. I finally give him the benefit of the doubt. We're finally talking about in April and May where he looked like an MLB player, and it took him another 2 damn months. He was the record 0-35. He came 3 at-bats away? And every time, bro, I'm not one of these people that's going to get fed up with dogging it to first or not taking stuff that's serious. I'll bench the damn guy. He fell asleep on one play. I'm not one of those guys. But God almighty, bro, every time this guy strikes out with a guy on second, he grounds into a double play, base loaded one out, and he's smiling ear to ear. I don't give a damn that you're Mr. Smile, bro. You're batting under the Mendoza line. No pun intended with Carlos. You're batting under the Mendoza line. You're making all this money, and you got Soto. Bro, I don't even agree with half of Danielle's take, Danielle McCorn. But she put out that video, and she got roasted to oblivion. It's all about people were saying it a month later with the month Soto had in June. I saw somebody say, since Danielle McCorn put this tweet out, he's batting so-and-so 300, all these numbers. You haven't heard a peep from them a month later. He's batting under 200. Bro, I'm just sick of talking about, because, like I said, it don't matter who you bring in. Bring in McGuire, Sosa, everybody, the kid. Bring them all in. Have it all. This is the last guy I was talking about, an old-timer lineup. Bring them all back in their prime, and they're losing games 2-0. And I talk about the nicknames. We got the super pen. It don't matter. You could have every super pen in the damn league. If you're going into the 8th inning up down 2-0, what's it going to matter? And there's not like they're Mariano Rivera 1-9 either. I mean, they haven't been money, but I mean, they're the least of our problems. It's the fact that a 3-man rotation by committee is the least of our problems is embarrassing. And that's not even mentioning with the money. This is the best team money could buy. David Stearns, bro. And the one last thing, bro, I appreciate the time. I know you got Yankee callers. You guys
go ahead.
Talking about online. You said this deserves more, just as much talk as you guys. Probably deserves more. Bro, because you got guys like Judge, with the injury. I don't know if it's lingering. I don't know about the postseason, bro, but I trust him a lot more than I trust this year's Juan Soto. Cody Bellinger's been great the entire time. I know you've been giving him credit. One last thing, these prospects, bro. I don't give a damn if Nolan McLean, Jonah Tong, all of them are striking at the side, because you want to know what? On the flip side, how many weeks did we just spend talking about Francisco Alvarez, 3 homers, 25 total bases today? Call him up. And I got to see his ass batting ace again, going 0 for 4. The same with Beatty. Everybody. It don't matter, bro. Everybody, it's the field of dreams up in Syracuse, and they come here, and then they play like janitors. It's a joke, bro. It's a joke, and the best team money could buy, even the guys they do go out and buy and spend for Soto, Lindor, they all morph into garbage.
Thanks for the call, Ross. Certainly not the best team that money can buy. It is a high payroll. There are some expensive guys. You paid Pete Alonso his $30 million. Juan Soto's $765 million. Not getting the return on the investment. We know Lindor's contract, Nimmo's contract. Should have spent more on the pitching. That stat is damning. Since June 7th, you haven't had a guy be able to go 7 innings, 6 innings. Yep. David Peterson remains the only Mets starter to complete the 6th inning since Holmes did that on June 7th. That's going to be a problem. There's still a lot of games left. Guys got to pitch. And having to piece it together, even though you built a super pen, they're going to be super taxed. They're going to be overused. And the bullpen can't save you if you're not scoring runs. You can't go down 5-0 and then rally back and then, a 7-6 loss in 10th inning because you throw the ball around. Like I said, 2 nights ago, Tyrone Taylor should have been sent. I don't care what anybody tells you about who was coming up. Like, that's another thing, going back to that. I heard all this talk about who was coming up. You have faith in who's coming up? I don't. Score the run with speed on the bags. Put the pressure on. Like, that could have changed the whole series. And then you go into this game tonight and you get got. Death by 1,000 cuts. Left-handed pitcher Logan Allen. You should have been able to get to him. That double play that they turned, that was a bad omen. I had that in my notes. I'm like, that was an opportunity for the Mets to capitalize right there. And remember that one later in the game, that they didn't get all they could get right there. Francisco Lindor grounds into a double play. Second baseman Brian Rocchio to shortstop Gabriel Arias to first baseman CJ Kefas. Yup, Starling Marte out at second. Francisco Lindor out at first. Not capitalizing there, leaving runners on there. That was the opportunity early in the game to give you some breathing room. The Guardians are scrappy like that. That's how they play. They want to play a little close game like that. Small ball you to death. Steven Kwan, who everybody was talking about acquiring at the deadline. The Mets weren't going to get him. The Yankees weren't going to get him. He wasn't really available like that. He's the big shot of the night. As I look at my Twitter, someone said, give the big shot of the night to the New York Liberty. Hey, New York Liberty, good job. You're big shots as well over there, but we are miserable baseball fans just trying to figure it out. Rob is riding down the Jersey Turnpike somewhere on the fan. Rob, you got it.
Hey, Keith, how you doing, man? I can't believe I'm on KM to AM. First time.
Hey,
Long-time
welcome.
I just don't understand what Aaron Boone is thinking when he puts this guy in again, night after night. He trots him out there. And he, as a listener, because I'm listening to it on the radio, as a listener, you know exactly what's going to happen next. You just know it. I'm talking to my wife on the phone, and we're losing this game. It's as simple as that. We're losing this game right now. He put him in again after what happened last night. I mean, what is he thinking? What is Aaron Boone thinking?
Job security. I'm not getting fired off this. I can do this again. And also, they probably talked about it pregame. I am sure that somebody signed off on it, whether it was Brian Cashman, whether it was Michael Fishman, somebody signed off on, hey, yeah, we're not going to throw Devin Williams in the garbage yet. If it comes down to it late in the game, don't put him in the close, but we got to piece it together.
You don't think he's making his own decision? You think they're controlling it?
I think he's got it. If Aaron Boone is making that decision to die on Devin Williams back-to-back nights, I just think he's smarter than that. I want to believe he's smarter than that. There are 10-year-old kids listening to the show right now that watch that game and are like, how do you let that happen back-to-back nights? Once he faces the minimum, take him out.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. And how do you get how does this lineup get one hit?
Nate Eovaldi has been dirty. He's been like, I don't know. I am honestly astonished by he used to be a Yankee, but this guy has gone on to be a Red Sox, win with them, win with the Rangers. Watching him throw, he is something else, man. 8 innings, 1 hit ball. He's just dominant at age 35.
Yeah. And I mean, shout out to Warren. You know, he pitched awesome.
Yeah, that's the first thing I said.
You gotta win this game for him.
That's the first thing I said. That young man wasn't phased. That young man didn't have a hangover. The last time Will Warren pitched, he said he forgot he pitched in that Tampa game that had the delay in it. He did his job tonight, and they let him down.
And what's going on with Judge? I mean, it's like strikeout.
Probably, yeah.
I don't get it.
Wasn't expecting Judge to come back and be, he's been off for a while. He was hurt. He was striking out before that too. I mean, he's just like he comes up and it's almost like it's either you're going to be a home run or a strikeout. And not a home run. Thanks for the call, Rob. Drive safe. Appreciate you making your first call to KM to AM. Yeah, they have no ability to put pressure on Eovaldi, the defense. We know. We've been going through this forever. There is no small ball. There is no stringing together hits. There is no laying down a bunt. There is no, it's frustrating to watch, but you knew what Eovaldi was going to mow them down. No one's surprised by that. The little bit of life that they had, Volpe with that hustle double. I said Volpe hit that ball to left field. He smelled a hustle double. You would think that would fire these guys up. They are in a malaise. They're in the damn twilight zone right now. And the manager is the one talking on the podcast about, these guys got to pick themselves up. Like, you got to pick them up, bro. What are you talking about? You're the manager. You're the leader. You're supposed to rally the troops. You're supposed to break them out of it. And you also had multiple opportunities to not lose that game Friday night because you had a 6-0 lead. You had a 9-4 lead. You had a 12-10 lead. Affect the game. And then you don't have to, I don't know. One thing leads to another. They're bleeding out. And Aaron Boone is sitting there making faces, watching them bleed out while you're in your living room like, yo, stop. And Devin Williams doesn't have to be the guy. They said Mark Leiter Jr., they didn't want to throw Mark Leiter Jr. because he hadn't pitched in a while. Shout out to Nick Costos, who wrote, Aaron Boone saying he didn't bring Mark Leiter Jr. in for Williams because Leiter hadn't pitched in a while. That didn't stop him from bringing in Nestor Cortez to blow Game 1 of the World Series. After Nestor didn't pitch for a month. Mark Leiter Jr. pitched Saturday. I was in Somerset. I saw it live. He pitched in the 6th inning on Saturday. He couldn't come into the game. Bednar. I don't know, man. I think it is insane. I think it is crazy. I think you got to be a Looney Tune to go Devin Williams and just go, all right, this is Devin Williams' inning. Whatever happens, happens. This is Devin Williams' inning. Derek, all the way out in San Francisco, you're on the Fan in New York.
Keith, what's good, my guy?
Taking L's and just at this point, like they're it's water off a duck's back. I know we're gonna lose. I know we're gonna lose the whole night. I'm just like, how do they find a way to lose tonight? Oh, Devin Williams? I should have known. I should have known back-to-back nights they were gonna do that nonsense.
Keith, I called my brother, dude, and he literally told me, he was like, if Boone brings this guy in, we're losing. Called it right there. I think, Keith, Boone brought this guy in knowing he was going to do that. And the reason why I don't respect Boone, you should die on that sword, buddy. You should say, okay, I brought him in, cash, this is what I have. That's it.
Yeah, but you had other guys. They had Tim Hill too, and I know they had other righties on the bench. I cannot.
Why would he bring Williams in, bro?
I can't.
Why would he do that?
I saw this guy give up a home run to Jock Peterson yesterday.
Absolutely. We knew that was going to happen. What are we doing here? We've seen this movie before, Keith. I almost drunk the juice, bro. I live in San Francisco, work there. I see Jock Peterson. I looked at him. I'm like, bro, he's going yard. And my brother called it, dude. What are we doing here? I almost drank the juice for Cash. I'm not even going to kill Cash, but I'm at the point now, dude. I'm getting a little kind of crazy, bro.
Because it's insanity. We're all losing our minds because you don't have to go out like this. Thanks for the call, Derek. That is what I'm saying. That game did not have to end with the 2 runs that Devin Williams gave up. And when you see the stat about Devin Williams, like, enough is enough. Let that be the final chapter. Let that be the nail in the coffin. Devin Williams has given up 26 earned runs this season. He's given up 26 total from 2022, 2023, and 2024 with the Milwaukee Brewers. This guy's having the worst year of his life. And you put him right back. You think he didn't have some nightmares last night on that mound? And you put him right back on the mound in the same spot in the 8th inning. Oh, it's not the 9th. It's not a closed situation. It's a 0-0 game. And after he gets that first out, and I don't know, I don't know. I feel like if I'm thinking it, Boone's got to be thinking it. After he gets that first out, and then he gets smacked, right, by Garcia. And yes, Dominguez should have made that out. Aren't you thinking as the manager, as the coach, as the guy that talks to these players, you're with these players, you're in the clubhouse, you're in the hotel, you know this guy is soft as hell. You know he's feeble right now. You know he's weak. I'm going to get him after he walks the next batter. 3 is it. Somebody else come in. You don't have it. Dominguez let the whole team down, and then I already knew because he doesn't have the ability to overcome that. Oh, that should have been an out. It goes off Dominguez's glove. This guy goes into the tank. Robbie's in Lenox on the Fan. Next, what's up, Robbie?
I swear to God, Keith, this is the most embarrassing game of all of them because you finally get some pitching, okay, from this kid, but of course they can only go 5 innings, Keith, so you have to burn out the bullpen. I didn't watch much of this game because I knew that Eovaldi was going to dominate this game. In fact, I said it to you or somebody last night on the station that why bother watching? So we know what's going to happen. They're going to stink against Eovaldi, right? So sure enough, they get one lousy hit, right? I turn the game off. I flip it back on the ticker, and I see 2-0. I'm like, oh, here we go again. Who's pitching? Are you kidding me? Devin Williams is back in the game. Are you kidding me?
You're in a bad dream.
I'm like, excuse me. Wait a second. I'm dreaming, right? And then here's the top one. Not only is Devin Williams in the game, he walks 2 guys. And what is Boone doing? He lets a pitch.
Yeah, you can't. He walks. Yeah, you got to go get him. I don't know how you're watching the car crash. How are you?
I mean, it's unbelievable.
How are you sitting passenger? Grab the wheel. Thanks for the call, Robbie. That's crazy to not watch it. I watched the entire game. I was extremely proud of TWTW, the will to warn, the will to win. That young man showed up. Jazz Chisholm ain't showing up. Jazz Chisholm, he got rung up on one that was outside, whatever, but Jazz Chisholm's in a bad one right now. Those guys couldn't buy a hit. Judge, I wasn't expecting anything from Judge. Judge's presence, I thought, might help. But I wasn't expecting. Judge was Judge was in Tampa at the facility. He goes from facing whoever's down there in Tampa, the Tampa Tarpons, to facing Nate Eovaldi. It's a little different. Judge is going to need some time. And then we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. You take Stanton out, who's been super hot, who might have been able to get, but you take Stanton out to put Judge back in the lineup. Dominguez, 2 Ks, and a terrible route to that ball that it just led to the unraveling. And no, this one's on Aaron Boone again. It's on Aaron Boone again because you don't have to do that. The guy comes out. Once he faces Jock Peterson, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking through this and I'm making myself dumb. Joseph is in Cleveland on the Fan. What's up, Joseph?
Hey, Keith.
Hey.
First time, long time.
Appreciate it.
This is my take on Aaron Boone. Besides for, recently, his goals in the in-game, my opinion is that they haven't been too great. But I also like to say that the baseball season is really grueling, and he's got to call out his players more often and keep them motivated. They've been doing this day in, day out. At the beginning of the season, they were hot because they were motivated, but now they just lost all that motivation, and they need someone to just call them out.
We're all calling them out. The world is calling them out. Boone's changed his tune. He was soft today. He wasn't yelling at John Boy and Jake today. He wasn't defending it wasn't that type of time. Boone seemed like the world was on his back, like he's beaten down, like he's got no answers. We got to make it happen. We got to do it though. We got to do it though. They can't do it.
I hear, but it's totally different when your boss motivates you than the whole world. You got to ignore the whole world, but when your boss is saying something, you got to listen.
Yeah, I guess, but I think Boone is cool dad, like I've been saying for years. Thanks for the call, Joseph. I'm not cool dad. I only have a 2.5-year-old, but my son knows what time it is, and I like that. When daddy raises his voice, hey, hold on. My son snaps to it already. I'm not your friend, bro. I'm not your friend. My job is to be your pops. Aaron Boone, your job is to be the manager, the authority. And I know that the Yankees wanted him to be the player's manager and the cool manager and hip and kind of and then look what it's gotten us. Nada. Oh, we got to the World Series last year. You hear Jabba Chamberlain talking about that? Though, Jabba Chamberlain spoke on the other station and he said, well, I was around Jeter and those guys. And those guys basically said the regular season was just months of spring training, getting ready for October to go win a championship. And Jeter's mentality. If you didn't win, what did you win? You got to the World Series and lost, and we know Jeter lost some. But they expected to win. These guys, what are we talking about with these guys, bro? Expect to win. It's on the manager because those guys did play some defense tonight. And yes, Nate Eovaldi is a tough SOB right now. He's the pitcher of the month. He's not giving up anything to anybody. So I did not expect them to get to him. But once he's done in the 8th inning, your immediate thought is to go to the guy that blew the game. It's it's so dumb, it's comical. Your immediate thought is this is the spot for the airbender, the ass bender. This is your get right spot to build up Devin Williams' confidence. He gets an out. He gets a ball smacked over Dominguez's head in left field. And then he's got to face the boogeyman that he gave up the game to last night. After he walks Jock Peterson, I'm done. Quick hook. But no quick hook because in your mind, I don't know what was in your mind. And the answer that he gave in the postgame was not good enough for me. Aiden is in North Jersey on the Fan next. What's up, man?
Hey, Keith, thanks for taking the call. Long-time listener, big fan. I just got to say, man, Aaron Boone has got to go. I'm over it. I've been saying it since we got him back in 18. He's an idiot. He's an idiot, Keith. We got to get rid of him. We're never winning anything with him. Another thing, I still like Volpe. I'm still high on the kid. I think he's got a lot of talent. I think he's got a chance. But Boone has got to go. It's screwed. We're shot. We're not going to win anything. He should be fired today. That's when he's today. I'll tell you that. Thanks for taking the call.
Yeah, but they're not going to fire him. That's why I don't even entertain that. They're not going to fire him, bro. They have plenty of opportunities to fire him. Aiden, I was yelling like you. I was yelling like you when we lost to the Boston Red Sox in Beantown in 2021. I think I deleted the video. I wasn't on the fan yet. I just was doing podcasts and social media stuff. But when I saw that they didn't even do a search, they didn't even cast a net, and they read Aaron Boone up after going down like that to Alex Cora and the Boston Red Sox. And I remember being at those games at the end of the year where they couldn't beat Tampa and they had opportunity. And I'm like, wait, this is what y'all want? This is good enough? This is acceptable? That's when I wanted Aaron Boone fired. But that's also when I knew. I remember Cashman said something about hoping that Aaron Boone would get as much time as Mr. T and Joe Girardi. So we're just in it, bros. What do you want him to do? Fire him tonight, tomorrow, and make Brad Ausmus the manager? What if they don't win then? What if they go into the tank then? They got to play better. And on top of playing better, Aaron Boone has to manage better. I would not have put Devin Williams in that game under any circumstance, bro. After last night, you get this night off. And it's funny because, like, when you go back to Friday, he'd rather put the new guys it's so stupid. He'd rather put the new guys, their first day on the job, the first day in the road grays, the first day as Yankees putting on that midnight Navy cap. He'd rather roll all of them out there than go to Devin Williams, who was like, I mean, actually, Devin Williams gave it up to Lowe in the Tampa series. So I don't know. Devin Williams is off for me. He's done for me. He's not an option for me in a high leverage situation at all. He's already lost a job this year. You know what? Didn't y'all hear me early in the year and I had to retract it? I had to apologize to Devin Williams. I was out on Devin Williams so early in the season because I did not see it working. I'm like, you have, and this is before they had Bednar and Doval. Like, you have Luke Weaver. The fans are against the guy. The beard policy is too much. Pete Alonso broke him. He just had his first kid. All these things I was saying, I'm like, there's no way this guy overcomes all of this to be the lights out closer that you need. And fast forward now, all these months, it has come back around to be true. Devin Williams this season, this came from C. Smitty NY on Twitter. Devin Williams this season blew an 8-4 lead in the ninth inning against the Tampa Bay Rays. That was down in the Boss. You guys remember that game. He blew a 2-1 lead in the ninth inning versus Toronto. Yeah, that's when they started chanting, "We want Weaver." I was at that game. He blew a 3-0 lead in the eighth inning versus the San Diego Padres. Yeah, I remember that one too. He blew a 9-9 game, a tied game in the eighth inning in Toronto, but that was up in the Rogers Center. He blew a 2-1 lead in the ninth versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Oh, that just happened last week at the stadium. He blew a 5-4 lead in the ninth versus Texas. That just happened last night. And now in a 0-0 game, he gives up the 2 runs. He takes the L. He gets the loss tonight. As the Yankees lose 5 in a row, lose the series to the Texas Rangers, who are, let me hit refresh, 888-808-1019. We're about to hit a break. Let me hit refresh. Let me go to wild card standings. And I mean, I knew this, whatever, but I'm just playing the game for radio purpose. Oh, the Texas Rangers are a half game out of the last wild card spot. With Carlos Rodon on the mound against Jack Leiter, you lose that game. You get swept by another team. Everybody's got to be fired. Heads got to roll, but nobody's going to roll. No, nobody's going to roll. There's no heads rolling. They're good. They're just going to come back to Yankee Stadium. Place is going to be packed. Those tickets are already sold. I'll see you there Friday, Saturday. 45,000, probably 47, 48,000 on Saturday, Old Timers Day. Hey, fans, come out. Yep, we're going to just be in there doing what we do. And I'm going to try and enjoy it. I'm going to try and enjoy the rest of the summer. Like I said, I fell in love with the team a long time ago, but not this team. Not this manager, not this version of the Yankees. I fell in love with the stadium and the fans and the culture as an adult. I fell in love with the Yankees brand as a kid. I don't know what brand this is anymore. This is not it. This is not the standard. 888-808-1019. Keith McPherson on the Fan. Let's break it down, and I'll come right back.
From the first pitch to the final whistle, WFAN delivers Walt.
about to hit these push-ups. Oh. I got the leg soreness from doing legs yesterday. Hit the triceps. Straight up, bro. Straight up. Got to get the frustration out, bro. Oh, we got the super chat. You know what's worse? Tomorrow Boone is going to bring him up again. No way. He's down tomorrow. Hell no. Just off the fact he threw 29 pitches tonight. He's down tomorrow. You let that happen. You let that man go out there and lose the series for you. Gotta be dumb. Gotta be plumb dumb. Can't fix stupid. And you gotta just be so secure in your job. You gotta be so secure in your job that you can play games like that. Honestly. Let me see what else I have. What a joke. Like, they can't be serious with that. But they are. They're dead ass serious. This is what they do, bro. So, why care? Yo, K Bonilla 2.0, I think you might have put me over my threshold. I might get paid off that. I was right at like a hundo. So that 5, I got 5 on it. That 5 might have put me right there. I'm close, right? So if you can see the number right there, that's 89.47 at the YouTube partner. Every time I hit a hundo, you see the green line? I'm at 89.47. So I'm like another $6 away from cashing out at a hundo, direct deposit, so I could buy a couple boxes of diapers. Just kidding. My son about to be out of them diapers. We getting him close. He about 50% potty trained, where he's in the pull-ups and he's learned to tell me when he's got to go to the potty. Shout out to all the parents out there. That diaper game is crazy for like 2.5 years. You start putting them diapers on them as soon as they're born. All right, here we go.
.1019 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps. Okay. But
let's get to the rest of these calls. Keith McPherson on the fan watching SNY, some Clay Holmes highlights. Yeah, the Mets don't hit enough. And I don't know. Mets fans chime in. The vibes are down on both sides, but they're way worse for the Yankees. And I know I troll the Met fan a lot online, but like the honesty that comes with this situation is needed, right? Like it should be just as loud for the Mets. And it's funny because I was saying it 2 nights ago. I know a lot of people don't follow Twitter and don't do the internet. I have the live stream going right now, 1,300 people in the live stream. So some of y'all do the internet, whatever. But what I was saying was, I'm like, yo, the Mets, as the Mets were losing, like, and the Mets lost to the Giants and they came out and lost that first game, I'm like, this should be loud. They just ripped off 7 wins in a row. We were just starting to talk about how they're back and what they were doing. I was like, the Yankees are kind of like getting in front of this. And I said last night, you know, the real test of big bro versus little bro? Like big bro is losing, little bro is losing, but nobody cares that little bro is losing. And I got some flack for that. But now the leader of the Mets fans, Frank the Tank, comes out there on Twitter and he says, the Yankees collapse is shielding the Mets right now because they would be the focus of the media. But what's going on in the Bronx is drawing the fire. I said, hey, that's what I said yesterday. Now, that's what I said 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I was on that. We're in this together. This is New York or nowhere. This is New York forever. No Subway Series. I told y'all I'll chill with that foolishness. I also told y'all neither one of these teams are winning the World Series. I'm going to keep it a bean. Like, I'm not going to hold you. What do you see from the Mets or the Yankees that make you believe that these teams are going to get to the World Series? I don't see it. I would love to be wrong. I would love to see it. But yes, August 4th, I said the Yankees getting swept by the Marlins, who are 500, but not the same Marlins, has shielded the Mets from the proper criticism after losing at home to the Giants, who were 500, sold at the deadline, and were swept by the Mets last week. Like, I think that's bad. I can't say it's worse, but it's like you went to their building, swept them, and then you give them some pieces of Blade Tidwell, Jose Buto, and then they come to your building and beat you. I'm like, nobody's talking about this? Oh, worry about your own team. Worry about your own. I'm like, for the 1,000th time, I'm a WFAN host. As soon as I'm not a WFAN host, I won't tweet anything about the Mets. I won't have any opinions on the Mets. I won't be paid to. But like part of the job is to watch the Mets and the Yankees and comment on both. And so same thing tonight. As they, posted the graphic with Mendoza. Let me find it. I think SNY Mets put it out. And I know the Yankees are trash right now. Completely trash. But SNY Mets says the Mets have lost 7 of their last 8 games and have fallen 2.5 games behind the Phillies for first place in the National League East. I quote tweeted that. I said, this should be as loud as the Yankee slander. This is not good. And of course, people want to jump on me about that. But misery loves company. We share in this together. For as much money has been spent on these teams, for as much hype has been placed on these teams, the expectation of these teams to get back to the NLCS for the Mets, the World Series for the Yankees, they're not looking much like it. And I don't know who to blame. Carlos Mendoza, Aaron Boone, the high-paid players, I think. It's a combination of all that. David Stearns should get some blame. You don't have enough pitching. Steve Cohen should get some blame. You got all that money tied up in some guys that are not producing, not hitting. And the philosophy change, right? You were paying Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander not too long ago. Now you didn't want to pay any pitchers because of David Stearns. WFAN put out a clip where I said, Scott Boras is not your friend. Frankie Montas, you paid him. What are you getting out of him? Not much. Sean Manaea was worth every penny last year. David Peterson is probably your best option. Kodai Senga, we know what Kodai Senga is and isn't. Paul Blackburn's coming through. I don't know, man. Nobody's coming to save the Yankees either, but at least for the Yankees, like, you got a good starting pitching performance out of the young guy, Will Warren, against Nate Eovaldi. You got Will Warren's best tonight. He had 5 strikeouts, And he wiggled out of trouble a bunch of times, only 3 hits, 5 innings. That's good. That's good for Will Warren. But I knew you weren't going to do anything with it. I literally predicted it on Twitter. I'm like, which reliever blows it tonight? I did not predict it would be Devin Williams because I didn't think they would be that stupid. But yeah, when you look at, let's just look at Nate Eovaldi's last 7 games. He's got a 1.08 ERA. He's given up 5 runs in 7 games. He's got 38 strikeouts. Like, nobody is touching him. Nobody's touching him. And I think it is absolutely insane that after that top of the 8th, where Jazz strikes out, Goldie flies out, Dominguez grounds out, you make the pitching change to go from Luke Weaver to Devin Williams. And there wasn't a quick hook on Devin Williams after last night, after seeing his face and the grimace that he put on when he gave up that home run to Jock Peterson, one of the worst hitters in baseball. Literally woke Jock Peterson up. Because tonight, Jock Peterson goes out there, has 2 hits, 2 walks. He's on. After saying, don't F with me last night talking trash. After he faces Jock Peterson, he's done. After you walk Jock Peterson, you don't get to face Wyatt Langford, walk him. And then, I don't know, with Roddy Tellez, bro. Anybody, Tim Hill, Mark Leiter Jr., Bednar, whoever. I'm not going out with Devin Williams like that. I'm just not. Jay is in North Jersey on the fan as we get back to the phone. What's up, Jay?
AM to the AM, bringing the mayhem. What's going on?
Oh, I like that one. I'm stealing that one.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. You played sports. You're on the fan. We got a lot of callers calling up. What has Aaron Boone done? He could not get past the Astros, could not get past Boston. Last year was a watered down to get to the World Series. He mismanaged Game 1. He mismanaged Game 5 when they gave up a 5-run lead. He doesn't go out there to talk to his pitcher, calm him down. He don't do nothing. And I just don't know what's left for this guy. He could stay with his brother in Texas. The family's there. He can stay when the plane leaves. That's fair to say. And move on, because every decision he's making, this is Little League Baseball. This is not Major League Baseball, what we're watching.
Not the New York Yankees, not the standard of the Yankees. Brian Cashman literally said he wants the Yankees to be the mecca of baseball. And you have a manager going out there throwing out his worst reliever right now. Like, I don't know, the night after he gave up it seems like malpractice. Thanks for the call, Jay. KM to the AM, bring in the mayhem. I got to write some bars. I don't have time, though. I spend too much time listening to podcasts, listening to the radio, reading things about this stupid team. Waiting for it to change, watching these games every night, watching the Met game, and being like, man, I can't wait for football. Justin Fields. They're already hating on Justin Fields because Justin Fields, his completion percentage in practice isn't good enough. Justin Fields doesn't strike me as a high completion percentage practice player. He strikes me as a guy that's not a red jersey quarterback in practice. You know what I mean by like he's a guy that he needs to be, able to be tackled. He needs to be able to use his legs. And then once he has the threat of using his legs and also they can run the ball, like then maybe the passing lanes open up. He's not a pocket passer. That's a whole knock on him, right? Everyone, he can't throw the ball. No, he can throw the ball. He can't read the defense. As, I saw, they put out he was 2 of 10 passing, 4 of 16 passing, 2 of 6. Like, this stuff hits Instagram now. Practice. He's been 15 of 43 with 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. I could not imagine being an NFL quarterback. They're putting your practice stats on the internet. Fail as much as you want in practice. Justin Fields failed to complete a pass beyond 5 yards. Took 3 sacks during today's section. They're literally charting this man's practice. They forgot that we had the scare of his toe being dislocated and thought it was an Achilles or something, but I'm rooting for Justin Fields. And I think he's the type of guy that gets busy when it's live, when it's real, when they could tackle him. And he said he wants to play during the preseason. He says, I think we at least need to see the field. I'm going to start sprinkling some other stuff in. This Yankee stuff is whack. It's played out, man. Same thing with the Mets right now. And I know some of the Met fans got at me like, what are you talking about? Look at where you are in the standings. And what I said was, you're in the National League. The Yankees are in the American League, and they're still one of the favorites to come out of the American League because They did just get Judge back. They do have a lot of talent on paper. They also have a soft-ass schedule where, like, this too shall pass. The Yankees probably aren't winning the division, but, like, if Aaron Boone stops making stupid decisions like going to Devin Williams, like, they do have 3 other closers on the team. They do have a bunch of hitters on the team. The Yankees are still, like, they're still right there where they could make the postseason. The Mets can't afford to be losing games to, these 500 teams or these teams that are, like, on the cusp when you're literally jockeying for a position with the Phillies, who now seem like, oh, they're a moving train. When you look at the Phillies schedule and who they're about to face and how they just fortified their roster, like, they're trying to get back to Red October. 888-808-1019. It's not great. We're going to talk Knicks in a minute too. I'm going to just keep, adding some different things in here to, shake up the talk. But I want to hear from you. I want to hear your Yankee thoughts, your Yankee takes. And let's go to Eddie from the post office. Eddie, you're on the Fan.
Hey, how you doing, Keith? Thanks for taking my call. I just want to make 2 points if I can real quick. First on Devin Williams. Why didn't they get rid of him at the trade deadline, being that you picked up 4 other relievers or closers from these other teams? Why not get rid of him? Why hold on?
To trade him to somebody?
Yeah, I'm sure somebody would have picked him up. It's like he's not, since he's got here in the beginning, he just does not look comfortable at all. Anytime he gets the call, he does not look comfortable.
I can try to justify it as they gave up Nestor Cortez and Caleb Durbin for him. They probably didn't, if they did shop him, because Cashman said a lot was on the table, they probably didn't feel like they were getting the return for him, and they needed to repair the bullpen. And he did have a stretch where, like, obviously he gave up that home run to Lowe in the Tampa series, like the day before the deadline, but he had a stretch of dominance where he was the best reliever in the Yankees pen. They weren't trading him, and they still very much. That night, Boone told the world, and I got on. I said, he ain't the closer anymore. This is closer by committee now. And Boone said, no, he's still our closer. So much so that, like, he got put in the game to close game 1 against the Rangers and blew it. And then they went back to him, not in a closing save situation tonight, but with the game on the line, a high leverage situation, thinking, hey, this guy's elite. He's one of the better. They've told us that. Boone has told us that all year. This guy's been really elite in his career. He's having the worst year of his career. They don't want to acknowledge that. They have to now.
Yeah, that inconsistency that he possesses is just ridiculous. It's not like Mariano when he got the call 99 out of 100 times. He knew his job. He was getting it done.
Yeah.
He came in with confidence. This guy has zero confidence, right?
Thanks for the call, Eddie. No one is like Mariano. And damn, we got to get rid of that. We got to get rid of the, Volpe and Jeter and all these closers being like Mariano. And then, like that's so far gone. But there is a such thing as having a stomach for the role. There is a such thing of having the head for the role, the mind. Pause. I don't know. That didn't sound right. There's a certain thing like Luke Weaver seems to have the, like, command, the moxie, the just presence for the job. Devin Williams doesn't strike me as that guy. And it's nuts because, like, he did have it in Milwaukee. I think he won Rookie of the Year, and he was like, I seen him pitch in Milwaukee where he, like, they couldn't touch his stuff. But I'll tell you this, Milwaukee is not the Bronx, is not the Yankees. He is not cut out for New York. That is done. Let that be it. What do I tell you guys all the time? The Yankees die hard on their trades. They're dying hard on this trade. Let that be it. Can't die again. I already read all the games that he blew. Just in those 7 games that I read off, there goes the difference. In the 7 games that they threw Devin Williams in that he didn't have it, there goes your difference in the standings. Just in those 7 games, if you were able to get those 7 games, you are 6.5 games back. Maybe you'd be in first place if you were able to actually have a closer come in and get those 3 outs and do the job and not blow those leads. 888-808-1019 before we go to the break. Frankie and Freehold on the Fan.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're good.
Yeah, listen, I don't know what, Devin Williams got to have some dirt on Boone and all these guys. They keep throwing them out there. 26 blown saves in 2022 to 2024. This year alone, 2025,
26 blown saves.
It's-
Are you out of your mind?
It's not 26 blown saves. It's 26 earned runs.
Earned runs.
Yeah, blown
I'm
saves.
sorry.
He's got.
I'm just.
No, it's okay.
You're right. You're right. And they're age of 19. My blood pressure shouldn't be this high because of the New York Yankees. Aaron Boone, by the way, we blow the World Series. The first World Series I'm really watching. We blow it. Yeah, let's sign him 2 more years. Why not? Why not? I don't know what I got to do. The Jets suck. The Knicks just lost after a great year. I'm not going to see nothing. No, I'm not. I swear to God.
The Rangers. Thanks for the call, Frankie. We got to go to break, man. Yeah, it is not great. Well, speaking of the Knicks, we'll get into the Knicks conversation too this hour. Ben Simmons, Ben 10. Are the Knicks about to do this? I hope so. I really do hope so. But I honestly said Ben Simmons is going to be different as a New York Knick. You guys heard my take on Ben Simmons. I'll give you my take on Ben Simmons. Also, some stuff I saw with Karl Anthony Towns, talking about Mike Brown. I mean, a lot of you guys are just going to skip over football. And before you know it, it's October. And obviously the Mets and Yankees look like if they get to October, they're going to be another disappointing end to their, postseasons. Some of you guys are just going to skip to the Knicks. And the Knicks have championship aspirations. It's championship or bust. So, yeah, be prepared for pain, suffering, more anxiety, feeling like crap. We're not winning anything, man. We're not winning anything. So, yeah, we'll add the Knicks to the conversation. Obviously, taking your calls on Aaron Boone, Devin Williams, the New York Yankees losing 5 in a row, losing back-to-back series. They killed all the vibes and mojo. They come back to take 3 from Tampa in their building, win the trade deadline. You start to vibe a little bit, feeling like, here we go. And they're like, nope. And the Mets lose 7 out of 8, erase their 7-game win streak, can't hit. Only a handful of hits, runs, high payroll, and just low performance in front of their fans in their building. They're erasing that home field advantage. So 1 hour to go. Keith McPherson on the Fan. The number to dial is 888-808-1019. Let's break it down, and we'll be right back.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 1019 FM.
This was as exciting as it gets, and to be a witness to 2 general managers that were pushing their chips into the middle of the table was awesome. You didn't feel like either one of them gave up the things that you were worried about them giving up.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, we're Wren Kitchens. In our 50-year history, we've made and installed millions of quality kitchens, and now you can find us at the Home Depot across the tri-state area. With thousands of styles and colors to choose from, we offer a free home measurement service and expert design consultation. All of our kitchens are made in the U.S. and delivered directly to you and installed by our specialist fitters. We cut out the middleman to save you money. And with our flexible financing, you can spread the cost over 7 years. Come down to Wren Kitchens at the Home Depot now. Finance subject to credit approval. Offers may change. See website for more details.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off and to wear a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Injured? Don't be a whiner. Call me, Attorney Mark Miner. I'm Mark Miner, and I have over 30 years of experience handling personal injury cases. If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. You can trust that the personal injury law firm of Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner will treat you with respect and fight for your rights. Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE for a free consultation. Our goal is to transform your pain into payment. If there is no recovery, there is no fee. We handle all type of accident cases and value the opportunity to help you. The sooner you call, the better. If you are injured, call 1-800-LAW-LINE so we can discuss how to transform your pain into payment. Don't be a whiner. Call Zalman, Schnerman, and Minor at 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Zalman, Schnerman, and Minor, personal injury attorneys.
Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. That's 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Hey, Connecticut, if you want name brand tires at the guaranteed lowest price and the most free services, then get to Town Fair Tire, because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Hey, New York, looking for a great deal to stay connected? Now, for a limited time, Verizon's offering Fios home internet and one line of mobile for just $69.99. Yes, that's right, just $69.99 per month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios for just $19.99 per month with autopay, mobile plus home discount, and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our 100% fiber optic network and reliable 5G network. Fios for eligible new Fios internet and mobile customers. Fios $15 monthly bonus discount applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. Bring your phone. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
At City Harvest, we're on the road every day rescuing millions of pounds of nutritious food for New Yorkers in need, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, fast, friendly delivery, and flexible financing to fit your budget. Go to mybobs.com for details. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com.
Discount Furniture.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information.
Half game back, half game up, we play like this and aren't stringing wins together. It's not going to matter. So I remain confident in this group, but, we continue to say that and got to start making it happen.
Will Warren 5 scoreless, but the Devin Williams struggles continue. 26 runs allowed this year, matching his previous 3 seasons combined.
I mean, I don't really know what to say at this point. We just continue to work and keep trying to execute and, help the team any way I can.
Nathan Eovaldi allowed just 1 hit, a bloop double from Anthony Volpe over 8 innings with 6 Ks, while Aaron Judge returned DH 0 for 3, couple strikeouts. And the Guardians kept the Mets reeling, coming back from 2-0 down for a 3-2 victory. Stephen Kwan, your go-ahead RBI single in the 7th off Tyler Rogers, while the offense mustered just 4 hits total.
We're having a hard time putting a rally together and being consistent against lefties. So, again, we continue to believe on those guys. They're really good hitters, and whether it's lefties, righties, right now, they got our numbers, but I'm anticipating these to turn here quickly.
Clay Holmes gave up 2 runs over 5, 6 Ks. Mets have lost 7 of 8, now 2.5 back of the Phillies. 74 degrees, clear skies, Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Marco Belletti.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
You can hate me now. Yeah, I do hate y'all. I hate the Mets, hate the Yankees, especially the Yankees. The Yankees are messing up the money right now.
for all of us. Whether you bet on the Yankees, whether you make money off of the New York Yankees, they are messing up the money right now. I got some content. I got some parties. I got some plans. I got some things that I want to do around the Yankees in the Yankees season. They're killing the vibes. Nobody's fired up for a Friday night in the Boogie Down Bronx after this. Nobody's looking forward to Old Timers Day with the team playing like this. No one cares about your vlog or your influencer marketing when the team is playing like this. So I do hate the Yankees right now. 888-808-1019. Programming alert for the Mets Nation. That hit my inbox. Carlos Mendoza, Mets manager, will be joining Sal Licata at 11:10 a.m. on BT and Sal. Sal. Frank the Tank drop. Sal. That's an all-time one. Frank yelling Sal's name, blaming Sal for mushing the Mets. So, yeah, Carlos Mendoza joining Sal Licata. I'm sure he's going to ask him about, hey, Clay Holmes. How come we're not pushing Clay Holmes? Clay Holmes hit a wall there. What's the deal? Clay Holmes was on script, a pitch count. That's it for Clay Holmes. And what's up with this lineup, man? We try to shake the lineup up. Put Marte as the leadoff. Womp, womp, womp. 4 hits, 2 runs, not good enough. And, I'm sure he'll have some, I'm sure Sal will have some good questions for Carlos Mendoza regarding the young guys coming up. Like I told you, Nolan McLean, he dominated in AAA Syracuse. He's banging on the door like Spencer Jones, but they're not calling him up. And, Nolan McLean threw 5.2 scoreless innings for the AAA Syracuse, allowed just 1 hit. But, yeah, he's developing, and they like where they're at. And they don't need them at the major league level. So, yeah, we'll wait on that. This day started off with the Yankees. And like I said, the Talking Yanks episode and Aaron Boone's demeanor being different. Even the New York Post have a picture of Aaron Boone, and in big letters it says, changing his Boone. Play on words, obviously. The ultra-positive skipper alters his messaging as the Yankees' hopes continue to fade. Yeah, Boone has changed his tune because it's like, what can you say? It's getting late early. Well, now it's late. What can you say about this team on paper? What can you say about how they're supposed to be, play, whatever? Judge is back now. That didn't help any. They have made moves like cutting Marcus Stroman. They have made moves like optioning Jake Bird. They bring back Mark Leiter Jr. They have arms available tonight, and they go right back to old unreliable. Tony's in the Bronx on the Fan. What's up, Tony? You're in there.
Yeah, what's up?
What's
so,
up?
First of all, let me just say this. You're irrelevant, all right, in life.
Yeah, so, Tony, I try to give you a chance. I got to put you on some type of, I don't even need to put you on a block list, but, I just rap with Fleegs about it. Yeah, Fleegs will block you. We try to give you, and then, even just the way you're worried. Let me tell you, I'm not come on, bro. Are you drunk? This is the second time I've talked to you where you sound like you were drunk. The last time you had the audacity to mention my kid, I take all these calls. And I just talked to Fleegs about it. I'm like, yo, Tony from the Bronx, this guy, last time I talked to him, he was out of pocket, whatever. You're protected by the phone. You're anonymous. Don't do that. Just don't take it there, bro. I don't know you. If you hate me, stop listening to my show. If you hate me, you've just been on hold for an hour and a half to tell me I'm irrelevant. How irrelevant am I to your life? It is 1:08 in the morning. You're 3 sheets to the wind. Clowns. I swear, some of y'all are clowns. If you hate me, go away. If you hate me, why are you calling my show? Why are you tweeting me? I own you. And I don't even want ownership of you. I own real estate in your brain. Good grief. Just trying to talk to the fans on the Fan. That's powerful. I'm irrelevant, but I got power over you. So much so you stay on hold and you don't even get that far. So, yeah, good night, Tony. You won't be on my show anymore. That's your 3rd strike. You're out of here. Let's try this again. 888-808-1019, talking about your New York Mets, talking about your New York Yankees, and going to mix in some Knicks conversation, Ben Simmons, Karl Anthony Towns, Karl Anthony Towns talking about Mike Brown, even some stuff with Leon Rose that I came across. And yeah, NFL conversation has to tick up as well. We are closer now to these preseason games, and there's so many storylines coming out of the NFL, whether it's trade conversations, cut conversations, players that will be playing in the preseason for their own spots and lives. We'll get there. We'll get there. But no, the Yankees lose another game, and they're willing to lose another game with Devin Williams on the mound. And for the life of me, I can't understand how that can be a plan. I don't understand how you can get in the huddle and say, all right, Devin Williams, he's going to pitch again tonight. Ready, break. I don't know how you could huddle up and go with that. After 2 nights ago, Jock Peterson, one of the worst hitters in baseball, takes him deep. You're going to go back to the well? I knew it, though. I called it. And there was a lot of people telling me today on Yankees Twitter. I think I even shout out to Big Mac. I heard Big Mac say, like, oh, he's done as the closer. He could be done as a closer. He ain't done, though. They're still going to find spots to pitch him. They did the same thing with Clay Holmes. Oh, Clay Holmes isn't the closer. We'll find another spot for him. The next day, damn, you literally lost back-to-back games off of Devin Williams, who doesn't have it. Mark out on Long Island. You're on the Fan. Hello.
Thank you so much, and it's great to be talking to you. I don't understand why everyone's blaming Devin Williams for today's loss. I don't think it's Devin Williams' fault at all. Listening to all the media, first of all, let me just tell you, I really respect your opinion about the Yankees, and I hope you hear me out.
Okay.
I know how much of a Yankee fan you are. You're part of Bleachers. I have enormous respect for you. I've listened to you a lot. And I want to get an opinion in, and I actually would love to hear your feedback.
Okay.
I believe Jason Dominguez is not an MLB fielder. I don't think he ever will be. He has problems fielding basic balls. Had he made the catch today in the 9th, there would have been 2 outs. Devin Williams would have gotten the 3rd out. It would have been over. We would have gone to the next inning. But he misses the ball. Devin Williams you saw it in his face. He got really shook up. He gave up 2 walks right after Dominguez didn't make a basic catch. They're analyzing it. Yankees, we've watched the Yankees, you and I, we watched them through the 90s. How could they win with Jason Dominguez doing this thing? It's a joke. They got to take him out, and I want to hear your reaction. Is that okay?
Yeah, I got it. Thanks for the call, Mark. And I know it's now about to be 12 minutes after 1. And when I opened up the show, before I got to Devin Williams, I got to Jason Dominguez. And what I said about Jason Dominguez is ball will find you. And I didn't just blame Jason Dominguez. I blame the Yankees. I said, because you think that you can just put Jason Dominguez in left field and say, yep, this is good enough. It's been all right. It hasn't been good enough. It's a liability. Ball don't lie. And knowing that Devin Williams is feeble, knowing that Devin Williams is soft, knowing that Devin Williams blew the game yesterday, and he's reeling, you need the best defenders out there behind him, but you're not going to make a move to take Dominguez out for Devin Williams. But you should take Dominguez, or you should take Devin Williams out once Dominguez doesn't make that play, because you know he can't overcome it. You know he's going to be thinking about, it should have been an out. Let's see. Adolis Garcia, that ball was hit at a 102.7 mile an hour exit velocity, a 19-degree launch angle. I wish I could find the catch probability. I'm sure I could probably go on Twitter and find the catch probability. It seemed like a tough catch, but we saw Dominguez. I said he was rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. He turned the wrong way. He took the wrong route. That ball got smoked over his head, and he still got his glove on it. So if he was able to get his glove on it, imagine if he actually took the right route to the ball. He makes that play. He catches that ball. So that's where it started. Now, okay, put blame on the defender. That should have been the 2nd out. But also, if I'm Aaron Boone and I see that, I have to know my players. I have to know the pitcher on the mound. Okay, he's about to face his 3rd batter, and it's Jock Peterson, who we gave up a homer to last night. Depending on what happens here, quick hook on the guy, short leash. He walks Josh Peterson, and I just got a text. Shout out to C-Mac. He's on it. He says that's a 55% catch probability. So a 55% catch probability, we can't really kill Dominguez that much. Like, it's 50-50. But, like, Dominguez is athletic enough. And like I said, when you watch that play, if I go back and look for the play, I know that I saw Dominguez take a wrong step and, like, kind of be on skates. But he's been on skates all year. He's been on skates this whole season. And the Yankees just allow it. And I don't know. I would say once that happens, you have to I don't know. I'm looking up some stuff. Not caught bot. There's a not caught bot. The hit odds, that was a 26% chance of being a hit. But either way, knowing what you know, or I guess you don't know, or you refuse to know, right? Boone said something today about the hard facts on John Boyd on Talking Yanks, right? He said, maybe we need to be better at the hard truths. That's the phrase. Maybe we need to be better at the hard truths. The hard truths are Devin Williams is soft. He doesn't have the stomach for this. Jason Dominguez isn't an actual major league level defender yet. The sum of all things, like, you got. You put yourself in that position. Felix is down in North Carolina on the fan. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Keith? First time, long time.
Appreciate it.
Hey, what I got to say is that, not only do we have to blame Boone, but you also have to blame his coaching staff, because you got to look at it like this, right? The first base coach should have been calling Jazz back to the bag when he was off the bag, when he was too far out. The third base coach should have stopped Grissom.
Should have never sent him on that. Yep.
Should have never sent him on that play. The batting coach should have been talking to the hitters today and telling them, hey, look, Evaldi's got it today. We got to be patient at the plate. Stop swinging at the first pitch. We got to get his pitch count up. We got to get him to the bullpen. You know what I'm saying? Pitching coach should have been talking to Boone and say, hey, look, we may need to get in there and get Williams out of there. Let me go over there. Let me go talk to him. Let's get some time to our bullpen to heat up. Hey, coach, let's get him out of there. Last night wasn't a good night for him. He doesn't look too good. So it's not just, you could be a coach, but you can't be everywhere all the time. You need a staff to help you and to push you as well. You know what I'm saying? It's about a team. It's not just.
They failed, Boone. They're all in a malaise. They're all in this together. These are also multimillionaire baseball players, most of them veterans. They should know some of these things. Jazz, I got to yell at Jazz to get back.
No, I agree.
He should have never been there. That's one of the dumbest plays I've seen ever. Thanks for the call, Felix. I understand. Let's spread the blame. Let's not just blame Boone. You blame the man in charge. That's where we've gotten to. If this team is so good on paper, this team has so much talent, why are they not performing? You blame the leadership. It starts at the top. And they're not going to blame Hal. They're not going to blame Cash. Aaron Boone's not going anywhere. So we're just talking in circles, man. They can flame out. And maybe I just don't think that even if they flame out, they're not going to consider it. So they got to play better. They got to wake up. It is what it is. And we as fans got to wake up and realize nothing changes until it does. They can do things like DFA and DJ LeMahieu, Marcus Stroman, Jake Bird or whatever. Those are little marginal moves. Ultimately, the messaging is off. And now it's getting late early, or it's late. All of the games that they blew and that they just kind of shrugged off as, it's baseball. These things happen. It's only a couple errors. It's a couple mistakes. That can't happen. I saw the New York Post put together all of the Aaron Boone post games where it's like Austin Wells walks off of second base. Jazz Chisholm gets doubled up off of first base. Dominguez doesn't know how many outs there are. Volpe gets caught stealing at third. A bunch of other stupid things that have gone on where it's like, that can't happen. But it is, if it can't happen, it shouldn't happen more than once or twice. It happens every week. Mike is down in North Carolina on the fan. What's up, Mike?
Hi, Keith. I think Casher needs to go because if they get rid of Boone, the next guy is just going to listen to Casher like we've been saying. And that's the reason
We saw an opener a couple of years ago in the playoffs, and that exploded. We saw Cortez in the playoffs last year. That's why we let LeMahieu hang around and give him 5 chances. That's why we give him
Aaron Hicks, Josh Donaldson, Joey Gallo.
Cashin doesn't want to admit when he makes a mistake with signing these guys. And the reason Boone
Stanton, like,
because he does exactly what Cashin tells him to.
Yeah, but he's not going anywhere, Mike. And thanks for the call. Again, going back to the Cashin's not going anywhere. He's the eternal Yankees GM. And he does have a great resume. Big Mac just texted me. I know he's listening. I'll tread lightly on my criticism of Cash. Like, yeah, man, Cashman. What's my line about Cashman? If the Yankees fired Cashman, they would need Brian Cashman to help hire the next guy. They would need Brian Cashman to sit in on those meetings to hire his replacement. They could not show him the door and find somebody to come. And you know what, Yankee fans? If you think this is bad, firing Cashman, who knows where all the bodies are buried, knows all the secrets, manages more with the Yankees than you realize besides personnel. Like, he has been in the fabric of this thing for 3 decades. Some of you listening, it's your entire life. There is no moving on from Cashman without Cashman. Like, he can't get fired. So you can make Fire Cashman t-shirts, Fire Cashman night. There is no firing Brian Cashman. There is no accountability. And I don't know. I don't know when it changes, but this is all a combination of things. It is so sad, too, because we come off of that World Series embarrassment and the brand of baseball they play. We think that they are doing this whole philosophy change where they're going to prioritize defense and pitching and they're better off without Juan Soto pivoting and doing all this stuff. And now people, like I saw Carrabba's making a joke, like, oh, here's a team that thinks they're better off without Juan Soto. And it's like, in ways, Juan Soto wouldn't be able, the version of Juan Soto you're seeing in Queens, if he was performing like this with the Yankees, it wouldn't be able to help, but he wouldn't be performing like that with the Yankees. The 1 year of Juan Soto with the Yankees is probably going to be the best year of his career. Let's go to Oceanport. Walt, you're on the fan. What's up, man?
Hey, Keith. How are you? Pride and joy of Monmouth County you are. And I got 2 questions. I want to get to the second one, and I probably should lead with that. But the first one is, why couldn't they rest Dominguez and play like Bellinger and Judge and Giancarlo, because Giancarlo has got a hot bat in the outfield?
They can't put Judge. Judge just played catch, I think, for the first time today. They can't put Judge in the outfield and ask him to throw yet. He's not ready. They just lost Austin Slater to the IL. They're not ready for that yet. It's Trent Grisham in center, and I guess you could put Ahmed Rosario or Caballero in the lineup, but that's not your best lineup. Yeah, that's just where we are right now. Judge is only a DH. Stanton is also only a DH. You don't want to see him in the outfield. Dominguez, as an able-bodied young kid, should be better, but it's just taken a long time for him to develop out there in left.
Okay. No, thank you. And my second comment is that I know you've done. I know you, BT, Craig Carlton have done games as a Yankee announcer, and but my fave, at the time, and you did a bang up job, and it, but Ricky Ricardo, because he's bilingual, and I just think as like an announcer, Dave Sims is like wonderful for like a small market team, like the Pirates or something like that.
The Mariners.
or the Mariners. But I mean, like, but you're coming off of like John Sterling and and the bravado and even Michael Kay, who's tremendous, played second fiddle to John Sterling. I just don't understand why the Yankees, and I can't imagine it was a money thing, because Ricky is pretty stupendous, and
Ricky still. I just saw Ricky when I came in 2 hours ago. Ricky's still employed by WFAN and the Yankees radio network. He does the Espanol Yankees baseball. Like, he's still here, but like, that's the thing. And I said this last year: if you move Ricky to the full-time English broadcast, you have a harder time replacing him on the Spanish broadcast than you do finding someone like Dave Sims, who has all these years of experience calling the Mariners, to just come home, just to come back to New York. Thanks for the call, Walt, and I appreciate the compliments. Monmouth County, Monmouth University, Monmouth Medical Center, Monmouth period, born and raised, Monmouth Racetrack, all of that. My parents went to Monmouth Regional, always putting on. Know that. Jersey Shore Conference. 888-808-1019. Joe is in Freehold next on the Fan.
How's it going, Keith? How are you?
Good. Talking through things, who should be in the outfield, who can't play in the outfield, who should be on the Yankees broadcast. Dave Sims is a pro. He's you know what I'll say too, because there's an article that, and not to cut you off on your thought, but to finish the thought from the last call, Michael Kay just talked about how, when he calls the games, fans don't like his excitement, right? Like when, I don't know, the Yankees lose to the Texas Rangers, or, like however they lose in these, they lose to Miami, right? Like, I think because Kay had an exciting call to the end of the Miami game on Friday, and fans are like, hey, like, we don't like that. You're our announcer. These guys are classically trained. They are trained to call the games neutral. They lean, obviously, our way, but like Dave Sims coming out of Seattle and all of his years of experience calling football, basketball, baseball, he's not a fan, right? We're in this time where, like, the talent, like myself, right? I am a fan. People like found out about me being in the stadium as a fan, and now I got to the fan, and I have to try to like pretend like I care about the Mets and play that neutral. That's the only pretending I do. But these announcers, they're not fans. Like, they're not. John was very good at that, and that's why John is 101.
I got you.
Yeah, John is a Yankee fan who got the Yankee announcer job. All right, your turn.
Right. I don't mind Michael Kay. He's a good announcer, but there's sometimes Michael Kay would just sometimes he'd root the other team. Sometimes he'll do that. Like, I don't mind Kay. He's
You know what it is? I think Kay is such a baseball guy. Like, there are things that the Yankees do. Kay can't hide his disgust. Oh, what is he thinking? What, like Austin Wells walking off the bag, or Jazz getting doubled up. The Yankees have been so bad that anybody that watches that much baseball over the years calling a game, they can't believe their eyes. They can't even hide it.
Right. Like about Williams too. About when he gave up those 2 runs, the home run. It's like, I don't blame Boone, but like, if he's not doing good, you can't put him in.
That's it, exactly. He's down. He'll be down tomorrow because he threw 29 pitches last night. But I don't know how you go right back to the well. That is the Yankee way. That's what they do. It's a different day. We're going to build up his confidence. His confidence is shot last night. Here comes a fresh opportunity to build him back up. Oh, he fails. We got to live with the failure.
I don't blame Boone. I just don't, because he puts the players out there and they do what they do,
I do blame Boone because it's his team. This is his era of the Yankees, and he can affect the game. He is making the decisions. If they're showing us David Bednar and Leiter Jr. warming up, ready to go, I can't let Devin Williams face 5 guys. I can't.
No, there's no way. Williams, I don't trust Williams now, and I don't
now.
I get it. They were.
I didn't trust him from opening day on.
Like, it's like the Yankees now. Like, back then, they were like back in 2009, last World Series. Like, they haven't done anything the past like almost 20 years.
They go to the postseason. They go to the ALCS. They got to the World Series last year, but every time they get us to these highs of highs, this Yankee roller coaster, they just come screaming down and drop us on our heads, crash and burn. It sucks. It's not fun.
Just our main purpose is Judge. If he just hits in October, we'll be a great team.
Well, thanks for the call, Joe. I'm sorry to laugh. Like, when has Judge mashed in October? When has Judge hit in October? Judge is half man in October. Like, so, like, oh, our saving grace. All we got to bank on, Judge. Sosa's in the Bronx on the Fan. What's up, man? All right, Sosa, we're gonna go to the break. That was a good joke, though. That one made me laugh. Like, Judge, all we gotta do is hope week. Hope is not a strategy. All we gotta hope is that 2025 this year we creep in as the third wild card, and Judge goes crazy. No, I don't have. I wouldn't put $1 on it. I gotta go off of everything I've seen. Judge swings out of his shoes. The moment becomes too big. Judge comes up with runners and scoring because he can't cash in. And I honestly felt like with this past offseason and with this trade deadline that Cashman had that in mind. That Cashman's like, okay, Judge might be down. Also, let's make plans for Judge even if he's here. Let's make plans that like Judge folds in October as historically he has. I've got Trent Grisham. I've got Cody Bellinger. I've got Paul Goldschmidt. Let me add Ryan McMahon, Ahmed Rosario, Jose Cabrera. I got more, position players. We've got Ben Rice. We've got Domingue. Like, we've got enough bats. Volpe, let me add all of these different hitters that could protect Stanton, the only one we can hope for and depend on and count on consistently in the postseason. Let me add all of these other at-bats in the event that Aaron Judge comes up small again. 888-808-1019. I'm running out of time. Keith McPherson on the Fan. I will be right back.
The Yankees play ball with the Rangers today at 2:35.
Giddy up, baby. Giddy up. The home run.
Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Jason Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play on the Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is Alex.
I thought the timing right there was funny with the promo with Dave Sims and Susan Waldman. Like, Dave Sims sucks. You know what it is, man? And it's not exactly the same now because it's been 4 years for me. But when I came in here replacing Steve Summers, people said I suck. People still say I suck. I just had a dumb drunk caller like, you're irrelevant. How are you gonna wait on hold? What time did this show start, bros? Hold on, let me check something out. This show started at 11:28. Buddy stayed on the phone till 1:08 waiting to talk to me. And then when he got on, his first words were, you're irrelevant. Click. Beat it. Oh, okay. That's where I was born. Down by the beach, boy. Rare breed. They'll never make another one. Dominguez doesn't belong in the majors. He does, but like, he came up as a center fielder, and the Yankees don't have any room for him to play center field. They just figure they stick him in left, and he'll learn on the fly. And so that's what we're getting. Oh, shout out to Hector, who came through with the 55% catch probability. C-Mac had it as well. They definitely shouldn't have let Williams face all those guys. You just died that way. He can't. He doesn't have the ability to overcome. Right. Wish Boone would pull Williams as fast as keep pulling. Because it's like, bro, I even talked to Fleegs. I'm like, bro, this dude disrespected me. And like, people can call up and say anything to you. They're protected by the phone. They're completely anonymous. I'm not anonymous, bro. I'm on camera every day. Like, I'm easy to find. I'm outside. So it's like people can exactly. People can call and say anything to me. And I just got to take it? No, I don't. Says are whack. Right, drunk. Lame. The emergency alert system going off. Please, I sent you a cut from Carmelo's podcast. I'm about to listen to it and make sure there's no curses. Okay, I didn't hear any curses in it. I'll cue it up and throw it to you when we come back. I just want to try and add some Knicks to the conversation. Fuck. Oh, I see. And where's the other thing I had about the Knicks? Let's see. The New York Knicks have been close. Okay, I know where we're gonna go with this. Coming up, sprinkle in some Knicks conversation. Y'all, if y'all in the YouTube chat, hit the bangerang. Also, I'm monetized on Twitch now. Shout out to the couple people on Twitch. Mostly everybody here, 1,600 for the most part is from Twitter. Appreciate y'all for real. Let's switch the audio and get back to the show. All right, I'm here. Last little run of my show till 2 a.m. And it is what it is, man. The Mets lose, the Yankees lose, and we are ready for anything else. We're ready for football, and as soon as the Jets and Giants start off 0-3, 1-4, 2-6, whatever it is, we're just going to be like, all right, what's up with the Knicks? So, speaking of the Knicks, there was a couple things that came across my timeline. They're about to sign Ben Simmons for the veteran minimum. They're the favorites to sign him. And it makes sense, right? Ben Simmons sold his house in Philly, and I actually read that he sold it's not Philly, it's somewhere in South Jersey. He sold that house to Nick Castellanos from the Phillies. So Ben Simmons is up out of there, but he obviously had an apartment somewhere here in New York playing for the Brooklyn Nets. And again, I will say my take on that is playing for the Brooklyn Nets is not like playing for the New York Knicks. Mikal Bridges knows, a lot of different players actually know. But the version of Ben Simmons that the Nets traded for, and he came to the Nets in street clothes, not really wanting to play, not really trying to be out there, not trying to be a part of it. He's not going to be like that with the Knicks. He's going to be trying to go out on a championship team, showing what he can do. And I know what he can do. You know what he can do if you watch the NBA. Now, he's years removed from being the dominant force, the all-star that he was with the Sixers. But he's still a big body. He still can defend. He still can handle the ball and obviously pass the ball. And you don't need him to score. He's going to come off the bench. He's going to be cost-effective with that second apron. And the Knicks fans will hold him accountable. Ben Simmons, your bum ass. Like they will hold him accountable. I just know it. I can see it already. The Garden is not like Barclays Center. So if he wants to be in street clothes, if he wants to be a model on the sidelines with all his different outfits, he's going to get cooked. And I know he's not going to have that kind of energy around this Knicks team. Now, speaking of the Knicks team, Karl Anthony Towns was out at the Summer League in Vegas not too long ago, and he linked up with Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony does the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast. Shout out to my guy Kaz, my guy Miro. I've had them both on WFAN. They're both friends of mine. They both do that podcast. They both sat down with Karl Anthony Towns. And here's what Karl Anthony Towns had to say about new Knicks head coach, Mike Brown.
I just came from having a 2-hour dinner with Mike Brown here. So this was the first time we actually met. We actually got to speak, talk about the team, get to actually know each other. We have a chance to win a championship, and that's only going to really happen if everyone's connected and everyone has to be fully invested into each other and to our goals. So kind of just really getting to know him, you know, the way he likes to play basketball, the way he wants to coach, the way he wants to operate practices and everything.
Oh, he practiced?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you guys have everything you need to win it all now? If not, what's missing?
Nah, I think we showed last year. We did a lot. We did a lot with people saying we weren't using the bench and everything, but we still made it work. And we love our team. Our locker room is really good, and that's what makes it special. When your locker room's that connected and can't be bothered by any of the outside noise and stuff, that's when you have a championship team. Because at the end of the day, people will talk, but as long as everyone in that locker room believes in each other and in this goal we have, ain't none of that matter on the outside.
That's a fact, bro. We talk about that a lot on the show where you could put the best roster, you could 2K it up and put all the fire names on the roster. But like you said, if you don't got the locker room, you don't got that cohesion, it's not going to happen.
Kind of just really getting to know him. Yo, Cat is funny, so. Yo, Cat got Tibbs right about the paint. Him and Mikal Bridges got that man fired. It's so wrong, but it's hilarious. It's like Mikal Bridges signs the extension. Karl Anthony Towns is having a 2-hour dinner talking to Mike Brown. Like they got Tom Thibodeau out of the paint after him getting the team to the Eastern Conference Finals and defeating the Celtics. And Mike Brown inherits that. What a lucky guy Mike Brown is until he gets a load of these crazy Knicks fans and they don't win it all. And that's going to be all fingers pointed at him. But you know what? Leon Rose still hasn't popped out. He didn't pop out at Mike Brown's intro press conference. We never see him. Leon Rose, if y'all ever see Daredevil and you see the character Kingpin, Leon Rose is not the same build as him, but he's got the same like head and face shape as Kingpin. NBA Central put out, the New York Knicks have been closely monitoring Giannis Antetokounmpo's situation with the Bucks. It is my understanding that Leon Rose and the company have been monitoring Giannis and his situation in Milwaukee very closely even before the offseason started. Many around the league believe the Knicks are interested in star hunting, and while that opportunity hasn't popped up yet, I certainly believe it's in the cards if the right situation presents itself. That came from J.L. Edwards, who writes for the New York Times covering the Knicks. And we did recently hear that Giannis isn't committed completely to Milwaukee and may still explore a trade. Could you imagine them adding Giannis to Cat, to Brunson, to Bridges, to OG, to Hart, to Clarkson now, and Yabusele, and then you gotta win. You're the outright favorites to win. So there's my little Knicks spiel as we get closer to being like, yo, these baseball teams aren't winning anything. These football teams aren't winning anything. But yeah, you guys keep the faith alive. I know there's a lot of fans out there that are like, I'm not ever quitting on my team. I'm not telling you to quit. I'm not quitting on the team. I'm still going to watch all of these games. I'm still going to go to the games. But, man, they got to show me enough talk, enough of Aaron Boone talking about how good this team is, enough of Aaron Boone talking about we just got to put it together. Put it together one night. Put it together consecutive nights and not against the fourth-place Tampa Bay Rays that literally made like 4 trades while they were in your building. Ralph is down in Howell, New Jersey on the Fan. What's up, Ralph?
How you doing, Keith?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I just want to start off by saying congratulations to my boy Chris Jones and baby girl. But, you know, you want to talk about all this new leadership, Aaron Boone, you know, saying, oh, we got confidence, we just got to put it together. But how are we going to allow, you know, I said earlier, Devin Williams pitch, blow multiple saves, including last night, bases ready to go, 3 relief pitchers, you know, on deck. And then he's going to say,
the team's rattled after Friday's loss, but he's got confidence in this group that they're going to continue to stay with it. They're going to make it happen. And what kind of message does that send to your fans that, oh, your team's rattled, but you're going to put it together? Like, you should have it together.
It's just like, to me, it's just kicking the can down the road. To me, it's just hope. It's empty promises. To me, it is rinse and repeat. It is doing the same things, expecting the same or expecting different results. It's insanity what we deal with as Yankee fans, listening to this post game from this manager and watching these in-game decisions and expecting wins and expecting this team to be better. Like, they're
exactly.
not. Like, they're not.
You're saying that, we're gonna, put your faith in us. We're gonna figure it out. But if we don't blame us at the same time. You got to know your players. You got to know who's hot, who's not, who's ready to go, who's fresh off the press, and then understanding, like, when you make that mistake, when you put the wrong guy in, or when that guy screws up, understand that that's on you.
Yeah, they rebuilt the bullpen, and you're still going back to Devin Williams after. It just doesn't make any sense. Thanks for the call, Ralph. Like, you have options. It'd be one thing if the bullpen was still thin. This is after the deadline. You haven't won a game since the deadline. You have Bednar. You have Leiter Jr. We saw De Los Santos warming up at one point. Tim Hill. So you lose the series, and you lose back-to-back nights on the arm of Devin Williams. Let it be done. Enough. Let that be the end. What else do you need to see? That's it. Talking Yanks put out, the Yankees have now fallen below the Mariners and into the AL wildcard spot. If the season ended today, they'd head to Houston for a 3-game playoff series. A loss to the Rangers tomorrow afternoon would have the Yankees out of playoff position. And with Carlos Rodon on the mound, how confident are you guys? Call me up, 888-808-1019. Yankees winning that? Jack Leiter on the mound? Anthony Volpe's old Del Barton high school teammate? You got Brett Boone and Aaron Boone getting together? You got Jack Leiter and Mark Leiter Jr. getting together? It's a family affair. We're about to get swept, bro. We're on sweep alert. I told y'all Saturday we were on sweep alert. I'm just laughing through the pain at this point because it is nothing but pain. They find ways to lose, and I'm not confident at all. And speaking of the Houston Astros, right? We just came out of Miami. First time ever the Yankees were swept by the Fish. Let's take a look-see here. The Astros defeat the Marlins 7-3 today. They scored 2 in the first, 2 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth. And let's see who does the damage for the Houston Astros. Pena, Sanchez, Altuve, Correa. Sanchez, Altuve, Correa all have 2 hits. Altuve's been going nuts. You think he's not about to come to Yankee Stadium and homer? He is. You think he's not about to come to you guys cannot wait for that man to show up to Yankee Stadium so you can be like, F Altuve. Yeah, all right. You won't see me doing none of that, but y'all have fun with that. Y'all enjoy that. Y'all go to the stadium, drink your tall boys, and get your F Altuve chants off while he puts a homer in the left field bleachers. Man, I'm just looking at this. So, like, the Yankees couldn't beat the Marlins. And that kid, Marshy, he's pretty good. He's making history. He went off. He's batting 500. He had 2 hits, 2 ribbies. He homered today. He's having one of the best starts to a young career. I saw him flash something on MLB Big Inning tonight. So shout out to that kid, Marshy, because when he was getting on base against us, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? He's off to a great start. But, the Marlins lose to the Astros Tuesday, August 5th. And if we go back to Monday, they lose 7-3. But if you go back to Monday, they lost 8-2. So the Astros are dominating the same Marlins team that you couldn't get a game off of. And then the Astros will fly from Miami to New York to face you this weekend. What do you think is about to go down in Yankee Stadium? I'll set the scene for you. I already talked about it a little bit. Whenever the Yankees are in town, people are on edge. A lot of us have trauma, PTSD, old wounds from the Houston Astros. I'm one of them. I was at the 2015 All-Star game. I was at the 2015 Wild Card game back when it was a one-off. Dallas Keuchel versus Masahiro Tanaka. Famously, I told you guys I'm the one who threw Kobe Rasmus home run from the bleachers back on the field over Carlos Beltran's head. I wouldn't make that up. Yes, that was me. I got the ball. It bounced up to me. I fired it back. That year, our season ended at the hands of the Astros, and I knew. And then I wasn't so hostile. I remember I even wrote something on like Twitter or Facebook like, yo, these young boys from the Houston Astros, like, good luck to them. Like, they're going to be a problem for a while. Little did I know. 2017, they were banging on a trash can, strumming on a street light, and yeah, they was cheating. That's why couldn't get with them in Minute Maid Park. 2019, they had the buzzers or whatnot. Remember Chapman smiling on the mound after DJ hit that home run, and then Altuve comes back. 2022, that was a tough one. 22, it was toxic. Remember Garrett Cole pitching? I think they gave us like a Tuesday 4:05 start in Yankee Stadium. Who the hell? I remember being at that game, and people were so quiet. I'm trying to fire people up in the line. Let's go, Yankees. I'm like, you're allowed to yell. Turn up. I'm like, oh, these people are not turning up. We're about to get washed. We did. And I think, that was it game 5 or 6 where Hicks hit that homer off Verlander off the foul pole. But I remember it getting toxic that night because people thought we were about to get eliminated. The Yankees rallied to get that win. I remember there's a video of like somebody throwing a tall boy at this Astros fan in the bathroom. People were just, people were on one. So that type of energy comes to the stadium. I remember the first time I led the roll call was 2022 when the Astros came back, and it was so loud. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to get this roll call off. Like if you're in 203, you ready to get this roll call started? Yeah. I was nervous. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to get the roll call off loud enough because people were just booing, doing the F Altuve, cheater. Now, if you have all of that energy, all of that angst, all of that animosity towards the Houston Astros who just got Carlos Correa back, and then you have this Yankees team where fans want to fire the manager, want to fire Brian Cashman, and if they get swept coming into this, that's back-to-back sweep. Oh, boy, that's going to make for a Friday night. I'm not taking off either. I'll be off tomorrow for the David Cohn golf outing, but I made sure that I'll be on the schedule for Friday night because I'm going to go to the game, and I'll come back here and tell y'all what it was like, and then go home and try and sleep and then wake up and go right to Old Timers Day. Last call of the night goes to Jarrington in Manhattan. What's up, man? You're on the Fan.
Hey, buddy, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for calling.
Hey, wasn't because of Devin Williams, I'm sorry, that the Yankees now allow the beer and the goatee?
He's the poster boy, yeah. I can't say it was solely him because, when they talked about it, they said they went back and talked to CeCe, they talked to former players, they talked to, their scouting departments. They said for years this is something that had came up. But yes, when Devin Williams came to this team, Major League Baseball posted a video or a picture of Devin Williams with his beard and him shaved. And I have a tweet that I quote tweeted, and I was lobbying for him. I'm not even just him. I'm like, hey, it's time to change this. And my tweet did 1 million views, and they actually changed it. And he will forever be known as like the acquisition that the Yankees made that made the Yankees reconsider the facial hair policy where they said, all right, you guys can have beards.
Yeah, because I remember in the radio they were talking about it. They said, he wasn't going to re-sign or sign with the Yankees if they don't allow him with that beard.
Well, it wasn't so much that. It was they asked his preference, and he said his preference is to have a beard. He doesn't feel comfortable, and they wanted so badly for him to be comfortable because they wanted him to be effective. They saw that airbender pitch, and they're like, we need that. So if we can change our rule this year so that this guy feels more comfortable and we get the best out of him, so be it. And yes, there was a thought that, hey, if this guy comes here and shoves, he has a good year, we're going to sign him in free agency. That's all out of the window now. That's all completely gone now.
You got that right. Also, Boone, I never liked the idea of Boone being the manager. He never managed nothing in his life. You understand what I'm saying? He was a player, broadcaster, and then a manager. Like nothing in between. So I never liked the idea. It is what it is. I don't know what Cashman saw on him, but right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm actually finding that tweet right now. And I've said that about Boone. I don't know how many nights I'm like, where did Boone manage? What high school team, college team, minor league team? He came from Baseball Tonight on ESPN. He was in the broadcast booth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. About Cashman, you know, I'm not going to say destroy the guy, but he's okay. We can live with him. But the manager sometimes, like back-to-back losses with the same arm, having a crazy bullpen back there, not a crazy bullpen, but having a lot of arms, he brings the same guy back.
It's crazy. It did not need to happen. You don't have to do that. You have all these other options. You could avoid one. You could avoid the guy whose confidence is down. You could avoid the guy who literally gave it up last night. Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody. I'm trying to find this tweet. It's funny. I found the beer tweet. It's on my Twitter, and I also have saved, coming up next, Chris McMonagle, a Big Mac tweet where, Big Mac went off on the Devin Williams discourse and the idea that it's time to give up on him being what he was in Milwaukee. Big Mac said, I think you're insane. You do not give up on what he's been. He's been arguably the best reliever in baseball over the last 3 seasons. That was May 7th, Big Mac. We've come a long way. Big Mac says it's about nothing else but winning a championship. The best and most dangerous version of the Yankees has Devin Williams pitching well in the back of the pen. Can't abandon that on May 7th. Well, we're going to abandon it on August 6th.
It's Boomer and Geo, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM. They are relevant. They are the team.
Yo, appreciate y'all, man. The trade deadline passed.